Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this vlog this time. Now I'm going to show my face. Now you guys know how I look. And I hope this all works out properly because I've never done something like this before. So I hope you don't mind. And I decided to do this video because I wanted to let you guys know what the future of this channel is going to be. Because basically I started this channel back then when the Diablo 3 beta was out. And I decided to do a few videos for my friends to show them stuff of the beta content, and I never figured that I would do videos more than 2 weeks or something like that. That's why this channel is called Phobos Diablo after all, and not Phobos Gaming or something like that. And I figured, okay, when Diablo 3 was close to the release, I really can do videos and I can really, well, excite people with these videos. So many people love them, and I figured, well, why not keep going? Why not keep doing videos? And when I first did a few videos on the major release of Diablo 3, people really began to like them. My first video is now at about 50,000 hits or something like that, and that's crazy. That's completely unrealistic to me. Thank you so much for the support. And I decided to go on forward from here, and of course I will talk about Diablo 3 on this video as well, because it is a really big part of this channel, the biggest part after all. But the point is, a lot of people already left Diablo 3, and I'm kind of in between right now where I'm going to be with Diablo 3, because I really want to do a lot of PvP stuff and cover a lot of PvP stuff. And originally I also intended to do each and every class in Diablo 3, but the point is, YouTube is full of different character class videos at the moment, with stuff similar to the Build Factory. Really, it isn't on par with my content. It's kind of, well, arrogant to say that, but there is stuff for every class right now, and I really want to know, do you guys want to see the other classes, or are you okay with, okay, this is it for the Diablo 3 content right now, or as of now, and I'm going to go with other games right now? That's really something I wanted to know. And if you guys think, okay, I should continue with Diablo 3 content and do Build Factory episodes for the other classes as well, then just let me know. The upcoming patch 1.0.4 is up, and a lot of skills will change, and you guys, it's really up to you guys. If you want to see more content of Diablo 3, just let me know. Oh, in case you wonder why I'm always looking in that corner, I've actually written down everything I'm going to talk about today, because it's quite a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's difficult to remember all of these things. But, well, where were we? PvP. I will do a lot of PvP stuff in Diablo 3 as soon as PvP is released. The thing is, we don't know how long this is going to take. It can take like till the end of the year or until the beginning of the next year. We basically don't know, and we don't know how PvP is going to play out. Maybe it's completely imbalanced and not even worth taking a look at, or maybe it is really awesome and becoming a potential esport. I know a lot of people say, and Blizzard stated this as well, Blizzard has no intentions to do Diablo 3 with a esport standard of balance, and that's okay, and it's really difficult to balance items and classes and builds like that, but I've mentioned that in my last video about my thoughts on the legendary items. They should at least, well, go for a standard kind of balance. There should be some kind of balance between these classes, and I think Blizzard will play to that and cater to the player base. And we shouldn't be too worried about it, but as I already said, we don't know when it's going to be released, and it can basically take like another year or so. So until then, there's still much other stuff to take a look at, and I'm going to talk about the other games now that I want to cover during the time that it takes from now to Diablo 3 PvP. So, as most of you will know, I did a few videos about Guild Wars 2, and I really enjoyed this game when it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago when the beta weekend was, and since then they always did these stress test days, and I tried a few classes and I decided to go with the warrior first. Maybe I do some other characters as well, but I can't promise anything now. I will do a Char warrior, that's for sure, that will be my main, but until then, until it is released, I can't really say, okay, I will also play a thief, I will also play a necromancer, I will also play a ranger or something like that. I really don't want to promise anything until the game is released and until I know, okay, this is the time I need to level up this character and this is the time I can spend on my character and so on and so forth, because the videos also take a long time to make. And what can you expect out of the content I will do for Guild Wars 2? Actually, I intend to do a lot of PvP stuff that also includes world versus world versus world, because I actually think that's an awesome idea for an MMO. And also I will do a lot of endgame stuff. And the thing with Guild Wars 2 endgame is we haven't seen it yet, how this endgame is going to look like. It won't be raids like in WoW, for instance, or like in the Old Republic, but there is some kind of endgame, maybe just dungeons with 5 or 4 people or something like that, but I'm going to show you some of the endgame. That's at least what I plan out as of now, but it really just depends on what the game is going to be like. And I will announce the server and my gamertag prior to the 25th of August, so if you guys want to play with me, just feel free to add me, come to the same server as me and my friends, and we can play together. It's no problem at all. It will most likely be a German server though, so that's something you have to keep in mind if you want to, well, stick around. But the awesome thing is I will do a lot of PvP, and you don't need to level up your character for PvP. So if you just want to play PvP with me and my friends, my guildmates and so on and so forth, just make sure to make a character until level 2 and, well, add me and hit me up, let me know if you want to do some PvP. The next game. A lot of people asked me about Path of Exile, and to be quite frank, I'm not sure if I'm going to cover this game after all, because I've seen a few videos about it, and from what I've known yet is that this game is somehow like Diablo, but somehow even more hardcore than the Diablo 3 Inferno mode was. And this is actually kind of cool, but this game is still in early beta as far as I know, or as far as I've heard, and I don't want to cover games that much that are too early into the beta process. It's kind of difficult because the characters will change so much, and it's kind of difficult to do, well, something like the build factory, for instance. Maybe I will cover some classes and talk about some game mechanics or anything like that, but don't expect anything like the build factory style with Path of Exile as of now. At least you can't well, like I already said, it's difficult to do that because it's still in beta and early beta, but I've taken a look at it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to cover it in the near future on this channel. But if you guys happen to play this game, and if you like it, and if you really want me to, well, cover the game on this channel, just let me know in the comment section below, and let me know what you thought about, what your thoughts were when you played that game, because basically I've just seen some videos on YouTube and read a few things on their homepage, and that's basically it. That's not much, so let me know if you want to see Path of Exile content, and maybe I will do something in the near future, but maybe not, we'll see. The next game I'm going to cover, and that's pretty sure that I will do some content with this game, is Torchlight 2. I have a lot of faith in this game, and I actually played the first game a while back. It was like 2 or 3 years ago, so not when it was first released, but back then when there was only Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, Torchlight was one of the best clones of Diablo 2 there was. It is a really nice game, and as far as I know, it is the original Torchlight 2 will be the original staff that did Diablo 2, so in case you wonder why Diablo 3 had so many changes and didn't really feel like Diablo 2 anymore, it was because it wasn't the same game staff that did this game. So they are now with Torchlight 2, and this game is actually pretty nice looking, and I really like the idea that you have a real skill tree with this game. In Diablo 3, I also like the idea that you have all the skills available and it really comes down to your rune choices, but there's something about a character in a role-playing game when you just can, well, pick a skill and really define what your character is going to look like. And it's really awesome that you have these different skill trees and can define what your character is going to be like and diversify it from other characters, because you really couldn't do that with Diablo 3. It was also pretty nice that you can, well, define what it is like with the rune choices and mix it up a little bit and experiment with different runes and so on and so forth, but it didn't really feel like a role-playing game anymore to me. At least that was my feeling. A lot of people, well, hated it. They didn't really want to do anything with the Diablo 3 rune system, but in my opinion, they both have their places. It just really depends what your preferences are. But in my opinion, Torchlight 2 doesn't get the attention that it deserves, so I decided to do this game as soon as it is released. That is on the 28th of August, as far as I remember. I could be wrong, I have to look it up later, but I will do content as soon as possible. Of course, I need to level up my character. I don't want to bore you guys with a Let's Play Torchlight 2 or anything like that. I hate that crap on YouTube. It's so redundant. Every guy on the internet does something like that. I want to do content that is appealing and that helps people out. I don't want to do anything like Let's Play Happy Wheels episode 2000 or something like that. That's just not me. But I guess I will do something like a build factory style with Torchlight 2 if it is possible. I will take a look into the game and take a look on the skill tree and what choices you have to make and how compelling and how competitive and how difficult the game is. And then I will start to think of video concepts with the game. When the game is released on the 28th, of course you have to keep in mind at the same time Guild Wars 2 is just released for 3 days, so I will play the shit out of Guild Wars 2 as well. So there's 3 days of Guild Wars 2, and then it is Guild Wars 2 and Torchlight 2. These are probably the games I will cover the most the next few weeks. And of course you can expect Build Factory style videos out of both these games, but it will most likely be Build Factory more for the Torchlight 2, more for Torchlight 2, and for Guild Wars 2 it will be more about PvP and endgame and maybe server events or anything like that. It really just depends on how the games turn out. I really can't tell yet how exactly the content will look like, but you can expect something like that. And Torchlight 2 is just 20 euros, or I guess it is $25. So if you want to pick it up, you really should. It's really not that expensive. I guess it is even like $25 or 20 euros on Steam. So take a look at the game. It's really gorgeous and it's really awesome. I think it's going to be, well, even if it's not as good as Diablo 3, it will be close, or maybe it will be even better. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. And the last game I'm going to cover, and that's pretty certain as well. A lot of people wouldn't expect anything like that on this channel, but I decided to do it anyways. I'm a really big fan of natural selection, and a few weeks ago I heard about Natural Selection 2 for the first time. I didn't know that they intended to do a second part, because back then, it is like already like 10 years ago now, they did an Half-Life mod which is called Natural Selection, and basically that's a combination of a real-time strategy game with a first-person shooter. There are aliens and marines, and first off, I love the original Alien vs Predator and Alien vs Predator 2. I played it so much back then. And you have to think of StarCraft, basically, with Alien vs Predator, and combine these two games as one, and you have the ultimate multiplayer experience. It's so awesome. And at the moment you can buy yourself into the beta, and you will also receive the full game as soon as it's released. I think it's like $35 or something, but it's kind of much compared to other indie games, but in my opinion it's worth it. And of course you have to think about it's still a beta and there's some bugs and the game is not running smooth on every system yet, but it's really fun. And if you want to play with me, just let me know via PM or something. I will send you my Steam ID, and maybe we can team up and play a little together. And I think this game also doesn't get that much attention. I really think it's really awesome and it's a lot of fun. And I think I will do something like news build changes, because they change the balance of the aliens and marines quite often, and there's still a lot of stuff missing, such as the exoskeletons or something like that. There are still weapons missing, I guess. I could be wrong, but there are some minor things are still missing, so they have to balance them out as well. So I will cover that, and I will also cover strategies, because you have to keep in mind every team, the aliens and the marines, have a commander, and the commander has like a real-time strategy point of view, and it is really important that the teams work together, especially with the marines, because when I was starting to play natural selection back then, nobody really knew what to do. They just put an building there, just said, well, build it and go to the extractor there, build that, defend there. But it really comes down to the maps. There's a lot of strategy in this game, and I will try to work myself into the material of Natural Selection 2 and provide the best content I can for Natural Selection 2, because I think this game has so much potential, it's so much fun, and I really can't wait until the major release. So this is another game I will cover on this channel, so if you're a fan of that, make sure to tune in once or twice for a video of Natural Selection 2. Oh, and almost forgot, if you want to take part in the Natural Selection 2 beta, I will put the description to their website below. Like I already said, it's like $35, but you will get the full retail version of the game plus beta access, instant beta access. It's like they send you a code for Steam via email, and you can put it into your Steam account and just start playing. It's really awesome. You should really give this game a try. But I guess that's it for now. That's all the games I will cover for the near future, and I hope you will enjoy my future content as well. And yeah, that's basically it. So I thank you for all the support. I know it's kind of cheesy to say that, but this channel wouldn't be here as if it wasn't for you guys, because for whom would I do this content else? It's a lot of fun to do videos, but it's also a lot of fun to have such an awesome audience, so thank you so much for the support. And one more thing, I will be at the Gamescom this Saturday, so if you happen to be there on Saturday, and if you happen to see me there, because I will also be at the Guild Wars 2 booth and the Natural Selection 2 booth, and if you see me walking by there, just stop by and say hello, say hi. I don't bite or anything like that. So until then, I will see you next time. Take care, have a good one, and goodbye.